This is Hemingway's Parlay, and I'm your host, John Hemingway. Today we have Shawn Martin, who is speaking to us from Key West, Florida. He works for the Hemingway Rum Company, and he's going to tell us why those bottles are selling like hotcakes, and it's just an amazing brew. So, Shawn,
Yeah, thanks for
welcome.
having me. Yeah.
Hey, well, I thought, people out there really want to know, how is it that you guys keep getting gold medal after gold medal after gold medal?
By, making really great product, really great rum, you know.
Oh,
The
I've
craftsman.
tasted a good bit of it.
Oh
I
yeah.
have to agree with that 100%. Um, was it difficult for you to learn this trade?
Yeah, I mean, not so difficult. The team that I have around me, I came into this as a marine biologist with no training
Hmm.
in distillation and sort of learned it on the fly.
A
Um,
marine biologist. Oh my God.
right. Yeah, it's what my
I can't think
master's
of
degree
anything
is in.
more different than that. Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean,
Well, I mean,
it's,
physics and chemistry all goes along with spirits making, so.
yeah, I mean, you're talking about liquids in the end.
Well, liquids and heat and chemistry of fermentation and all that. Yeah.
It's funny. My mother initially wanted to be a marine biologist, and that's why she went to the U of M. You know,
Hmm.
but in the end, she ended up studying medicine. But well, like you, maybe medicine's akin to distilleries, and I'm not sure.
Some people look at it as medicinal. So
Medicine. Oh yeah, it is. It definitely could be that. How long have you been working there, though?
I've been with Pilar since 2015, on and off doing pop-up events and things like that. But I've been actually making rum for them since 2016.
Ah, okay. So, are you more interested in making the rum or in becoming a premier barman or something like that?
No, I like what I do. I like getting to actually create the spirits that other premier barmen would use to make cocktails. I like being able to tinker with that.
Yeah, I remember when you and your girlfriend there went up to New York City for, I think it was a course to on cocktails. Was that it? I'm not
No,
sure.
no, I went up. There's a organization called the Wine and Spirits Educational Trust, and they do
Ah,
three levels of spirits awards. So it's like really intense, really in-depth training in all spirits, not just rum,
hmm.
including some I never heard of. And so I had to go up there to take the exam because it involves like a written portion and a blind tasting, and so and she just happened to be up there working on a boat, so they're able to hang out and have a little bit of good time.
Cool.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
often
fun.
do these sort of extra courses, to round out already what you've had or to augment it or
Well, it's a little bit of continuing education, just to further my knowledge and understanding of other spirits, because then that will help me add to my toolbox of things that I can look at when I'm trying to think of what to do next, whether it be with fermentation or distillation techniques and things like that.
what's the difference between the two for
Between,
our for
oh,
people who
for
are listening?
fermentation,
Yeah.
right, right. So
Uh-huh.
fermentation's just, you take the yeast and the sugar and the water, and you let the yeast eat the sugar to create the alcohol. And then the
Hmm.
distillation is when we're concentrating and selecting for what we want from that, the alcohol and the flavor compound.
Oh, okay.
So that's where we actually heat it up in the still, what most people would think of when they think of it.
Yeah, I think when I think about your distillery, I think it has to be somewhat unique because you've also got a sort of a what is it, a museum inside there too? Sort of an educational museum. I don't know if
Well, the
that's
whole
still
place
going on.
is right. Yeah, the whole place is kind of an educational museum of sorts. We've got our tours through the distillery to show people about Ernest and about how we make rum and how we make our flagship rums, not just what I do down there. And then, of course,
Hmm.
we have our Hemingway Social Club, which is you've experienced pretty good when last
Okay,
time you were
you
down
you
there.
make this sort of stuff, I think, right?
Yeah, it's one of my
Yeah.
That's one of my distillery reserves.
Yeah. Look at I picked up yesterday night.
Anyway, wow, that is so good.
It is fantastic. And it's not exactly, economical. For most. Just look, you make an invest. Well, how can you make an investment? It's going to be gone in a bit.
I'll tell you
Anyway.
what, as far as that's actually priced really well. If you go buy some other whiskeys, I mean, you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on whiskey easy. So I think the price point on that one's pretty fair for the quality. I mean, that's one of the
Oh, the
best ryes I've
quality
ever
is
had.
amazing. Yeah.
I mean,
What was it that they won? They won a special, or not an award, but
well,
commendation.
Whiskey
It,
Advocate magazine rated us as rated the rye. I don't have anything to do with the rye really, but that was number one rye in the world for I think 15 whiskey in the world.
wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty big publication, so that was a huge honor.
No wonder they're putting it. I bought it at ABC Liquors or something like that, and they had to go back to the glass case, which is locked, and the guy has a AK-47 or something like that.
Armed guards.
And I told him, yeah, I need to buy this because I'm doing a podcast, for Papa's Pilar and everything. And he's, oh, when's it going to be on? And I said, well, I'll probably have it up by Saturday. I mean, I'll finish it this afternoon, and then check for horrible mistakes, in which case, I just face palm. There we go. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I'm very surprised by this rye whiskey. It is just, it's like the rum in a sense, in the sense of the complexity of it.
Well, it's two different ryes, blended together, Indiana and Kentucky, and then it's finished in rum seasoned sherry barrels. So some of the sherry barrels we use to make our flagship sherry
Yeah. Yeah, I could
sherry finish
definitely
rum. We
taste that.
finish
Yeah.
the rye in it. Yeah, it's really really fantastic.
So what's the most difficult part of what you do there every day, Shawn? Getting up in the morning? No.
Getting up in the morning is easy for me.
It's because you live in Key West, okay? And there's so many places to distract you. I know, I know.
Yeah. Say the most difficult part of my job is all the record keeping, the federal and state reporting and things like that. Everything else is fun. If it's hard, it's at least fun.
Oh yeah. So that's it. Well, if that's the most difficult part, then well, uh, I can see why you like your job.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I have no complaints. Yeah, it's an amazing job.
What about? I was thinking, Key West is a rather restricted area in the sense of, there aren't that many houses, and so there's a lot of sort of. I hear that there's a kind of a housing problem down there. Are you living on the island, or do you have to live off island,
No, I
or
live
have
on
you?
island. I live in Key West is sort of split into three areas of Old Town, Midtown, and Newtown. I live out in Newtown.
Ah, Newtown. Okay.
It's a little more. It gets as you move closer and closer to Old Town, it gets more and more expensive. So
Yeah. Boy, do they get expensive. Yeah. I was talking
yeah,
to
well,
Cheryl Rhodes not too long ago, and he was just absolutely aghast at how much, the prices had gone up there because, he had a number of houses, as you probably know, and then he sold them. And now he wants to go back, because, well, I guess Lure Lake just doesn't have the kind of sort of heat that he likes, you know.
right.
But
I mean, it's a
not
4x2 island, so I mean, the supply and demand.
supply and demand. Yeah, that's probably it. I'd say. Okay. What are the stages, okay, in making a prize-winning rum such as Papas Pilar? I mean,
Right. So the all of our rums are flagship expressions that people can buy anywhere in the country, really, unless you're in
mhm,
Alaska, unfortunately. Start with it's a blending process. So you remember our rums, for example, like our dark is 9 different rums that are all really great rums on their own, can each stand on 2 feet, and then we bring
mhm,
those together into a blend that is also fantastic. But then we take it a step further and we go ahead and put it through our barreling system. So the dark goes through bourbon barrels, then it'll go through ruby port barrels and finishes in Oloroso sherry casks.
mhm,
And so you've got this combination of all these amazing rums that are brought together like this fantastic puzzle, um, and then polished off really well with these nice barrels that we have. And then we have other expressions, like our sherry finish. Then
yeah,
we
that's
take it a step
fantastic
further.
stuff. Yeah.
We take it out of the Oloroso sherry barrels from that barreling system, and then we have fresh
Are,
sherry barrels that we then finish it in.
are
So
these
it adds a
sherry
new level layer.
barrels from Spain?
We get them through a broker, but yeah, probably from
Oh,
Spain.
okay. Did you ever? I heard that you were in negotiations to start selling it in Spain for the EU. Is that correct? Or
That is above my pay grade. I don't know anything about that. I know that
uh,
there's always been aspirations for Europe, and I know we have made some insights and inroads into that as far as where.
Sean, the people of Europe are waiting for it.
Hey,
I had a lot of Italian friends who fell in love with it. When I'd take over bottles, that sort of stuff.
yeah, I was in Bonaire, and the Dutch crowd down there were raving over it. So
Oh yeah, just about
we'll be
everyone
there
does.
eventually. As far as where, I don't want to misspeak, so I'm not gonna say any
Yeah,
thoughts that I have because I truly don't
it's a corporate secret, and they could kill you.
know.
They'd send a hitman down here.
I'll get a stern phone call from somebody.
An
Yeah.
offer, or there'll be a horse head in your bed or something like that.
All Godfather on me, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, when you're not making world famous rum, are there any passions that you have, which you exercise there and proper place to exercise them?
Yeah, I mean, most of my, as I grew up in Florida in the Tampa area, so most of my interests are surround, or on the water, in the water, which is perfect. As a scuba instructor and a boat captain, spear fisherman, free diver, like so, but just generally being on the water. So I do that when I get a chance to as often as I can. So that works out pretty well.
I heard you're involved also in conservation of reefs, perhaps?
Right, yeah. Steve came to me a while ago about this idea of getting behind coral reef restoration, and me being the token marine biologist in the company, myself and Mike Myatt, kind of, or with Natalie, have been kind of spearheading that. So we're getting behind a group called iCare out of Isla Morada, who
Hmm.
is doing using science-based approaches to replant and the coral reef tract because a lot of it's dying because of different factors. And so they're using science and sort of genetic manipulation. It's like accelerated evolution, if you will, to find the
Really?
hardiest corals. Yeah, they take the corals and they put them in a land-based nursery and you kind of stress test them and see the ones that lived, and those are the hardiest ones. And then you take those and you grow them, and then you plant them on the reef,
And
and
does it
hopefully
work?
they've got a very high success rate. They've got above an 80% success rate.
That's good because I'd heard that the only place you could find decent, healthy reefs these days was in Cuba.
There are some good
Be
reefs down there, yeah.
because they don't have any sort of phosphates or artificial ingredients going into, well, no, um, all the stuff which is also used in farming, because they have totally sustainable eco farming there. And for that reason, people have been, from the states who go there, were very surprised that, wow, look at these reefs. It's amazing. Okay, so looks like you're on a good track to, uh, showing up the Cubans. Eventually, you'll have
Yeah.
the best reefs in the back
I mean,
in the
that's
area.
that's the goal. Yeah, to rebuild them so they're healthy and sustainable because they're so important to the rest of the ecosystem,
Oh
to
yeah,
fish and
absolutely.
inshore and offshore and everything else. So it's extremely important for a lot of reasons. So we're putting a lot of money and time and trying to really get attention on what's happening and why we're getting behind this. So
So this is
it's an important effort.
the Hemingway Rum Company that's helping to support the reconstruction of these reefs in Florida. You're saying, or
Right, along with some of our, other partners like Guy Harvey and, you know,
okay.
other groups like that. So we work closely with the Guy Harvey Foundation and other similar groups to try to accomplish this feat, this Herculean task.
It's interesting because having been out a couple of times, on the um, fishing boats, a lot of the
Mhm.
captains have their bottles of Papas Pilar. So indirectly, by buying these bottles, okay, they're helping to nurture the reefs, which will then sort of give them the fish that eventually they will catch and possibly release if we're talking about marlins or whatever else.
Yeah. Yeah, our
And
fishing community, they understand the importance of all of this. And as you know, we're a big fishing brand.
oh yeah,
And a lot of these guys really are behind what we're doing and very big supporters of it and of
mm,
the brand in general. It's a great community.
it is absolutely. I was astounded by the what they did with that storage room, making it into the bar. That is just incredible. It's what a place. I mean, for
Yeah, the
anything,
Hemingway
any kind of
Social
event.
Club. Yeah.
Yeah. Another reason for anyone who's interested in Cuba to go down there. I mean, there's not just the Hemingway House. There's or Sloppy Joe's. There is this fantastic bar there at the distillery, and they make fantastic cocktails. And it's I would say it's a unique ambiance there. They've got so many things going for it, like that Gar Harvey painting, for instance. And then there is the ritual statue of my grandfather, obviously. Everyone's got. I've seen some which are really bad. When I was up in Michigan, I shouldn't say this, but Walloon Lake and everything, they had this one guy, and he didn't look at all like Ernest, but I suppose he was supposed to look like the young Ernest when he just got there, and he was super skinny, and I don't think he even had a beard or whatever. But to each Ernest his own, I say.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean that's good. That statue is going to become one of the most photographed spots in Key West. I think people come in there all the time,
oh,
sometimes just to photograph with the statue.
is it the only one on the island?
It's the only that I'm aware of. It's the only one on the island.
Huh.
I don't think the house has one. That would be the only other place that would have it. So
No, 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 no. I don't think they'll ever do that. But I mean, they might.
yeah,
you know, money's money.
right, right. Yeah, if anybody who's
Mm.
coming down, just come check out the social club. It's we tried to make it, make you feel like you're stepping back into the, late 20s and 30s when Papa would have been here. Um, and it's really got, I think it's the most unique uh, spot, place to grab a cocktail in Key West for sure.
I mean, it's fantastic, really. I mean, when we were there for the Hemingway days, I love the way they had various musicians going in there and doing their thing.
Hmm.
Your girlfriend was singing. And then there was who was that fellow who played the trumpet? He was fantastic. He's from Michigan too.
Oh yeah. God, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. Nah, it's just really it's a fantastic place. But you've
Yeah.
got two bars there. You've got that one there, and then you've got the other one at the entrance, I think.
Well, the front, yeah, we have the tasting bar in the retail area.
Ah, okay, yeah,
What we call our trading post.
the Trading
So
Post.
we that was our original bar. It was the only one we had, and then
Hmm.
when the state allowed us to start selling cocktails, 2 years ago almost now, we decided. Steve decided. Everybody's like, "Let's. This has got to be a bar," and it just all the creative brains behind our company got together, and now it is what it is, and keeps getting better.
Do you have any, I don't know, readings of novels and stuff like that? Or, I mean, I know the island is chock a block of writers, so
Oh yeah.
I was just wondering if you could do something like that.
To do what?
I don't know, writers coming in with their works and reading it for people or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we're there's a literary it's like a literary day or week or something like that that they're doing. We're going to work with, and we actually have. I think it's today at the distillery. There's this karaoke thing that's there.
Karaoke?
It's all, but it's all parodies of what it's like to be a writer.
Oh yeah,
So
that
as
must be
a,
fun.
as an aspiring novelist myself, I might have to pop in there and check that out.
Karaoke writing, yeah, that's where it's at
Yeah.
now.
Well, just to kind of poke fun, but just have fun. I think that's what the theme is anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think in whenever you're writing, yeah, you've got to have a sense of humor. You've got to have a sense of humor, and well, you shouldn't take yourself too seriously, probably. Yeah, no, Ernest certainly did not. take himself that he was serious about his writing and everything, but he loved to to joke and to make fun of others and everything, especially in his letters. My God, he could get really nasty in his letters, about other writers,
Right.
writers that he liked, writers that he didn't like, you know,
Yeah, the
that
most
sort of thing.
amusing letters are always about the ones he didn't like.
Yeah, God, yeah.
He was not kind when he was directing
Not at
scorn, I
all. Not at
guess.
all. I mean, he could be extremely generous as a person, but then, if you teed him off, he let you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had a way with words, so we utilize that as needed.
Oh, yeah. He was a wordsmith, and sometimes it cut like a knife. Yeah. Katana. Hmm.
When's your next book coming out?
Well, let's see. I've got about 15,000 words on it right now, about 40 pages. I'm hoping to get it finished before the next Hemingway days.
Cool.
Oh yeah, for sure I will. I mean, this is actually a sequel to Murder on the Florida Straits, and so we have some of the characters coming back, like Dr. Eddie Diaz, the one who windsurfs across the Florida Straits from Havana to Garden Key, and I remember some people telling me, "Oh, that's impossible," and I said, "Actually, no. A number of Cubans have done that, windsurfed, across the
Right.
Gulf Stream, which I think is insane, considering
It's
what is
pretty
out there.
crazy. I
But
mean, they say Captain Tony water skied the whole way. I don't know about water skiing for 90 miles, but they say that's part of the legend, you know.
wow, water skiing. When was
Yeah,
this back in the 50s
I don't know. It's just one of
or
the
the
Captain
30s or
Tony
something?
legends or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because they've got a lot of animals there. I mean, a lot of big fish going through there.
Right. Well, that one woman swam it, you know,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
just
That was
10 years ago, maybe.
maybe even longer. Yeah, she was in her 60s or 70s or something like that.
Yeah, it's been since I moved here. Just about 10 years. So within the last 10 years, I believe in it. Pretty crazy. More motivated than me.
Yeah. So, what are your plans, distilling wise, for the future?
Well, I mean, making sure to make the distinction between my distillery reserves that I do in Key West, small batch, sort of boutique, a few hundred bottles, maybe a few
Hmm.
hundred, couple hundred cases are made,
Hmm.
which can't be bought anywhere else but Key West. And then we have our flagships that we also have in the distillery, but you can find nationally. So the stuff I'm working on, we've got three releases in the chamber for this year:
Oh wow.
spring, fall, summer release. Going to come out with our first, because until now it's all been blended rum, but we finally have enough aged rum that we're going to come out this summer with our first 100% Key West distillate release. That's 100% been made in-house instead of using blends, so that's exciting.
Hmm.
There's a new
Have you have you
nationally.
already have you already tasted it?
Yeah, there's actually a couple barrels in the running for it. So Bob and I have the arduous task of having to pull run from the barrels and taste it and at different proofs and sit in the lab and make sure we eat first. And
do you
then
have to drink a lot of water while you're doing all that too to hydrate?
we don't actually drink as much as we like to play that we do. We come off like we're sitting there and just knocking back glasses around, but we drink just a dram, we call it. It's a few milliliters of water, just enough to taste it. Otherwise,
Hmm.
we wouldn't be able to function after some of the tasting sessions we have. But
They can spot you as soon as you come out of the distillery. Ah, there
right,
they go, those brave
speaking cursive
workers.
and walking sideways, yeah. But then nationally, I believe I know that we have some really great stuff. I'm not sure when they're going to talk about that. So again, I don't want to say too much, but we've got some stuff that's coming out that's pretty fantastic, and I'm excited for the national market to see.
So you've got the Key West market, and then the rest of the world.
Well, when I say that, I mean my distillery reserves that are only available in Key West, and then the stuff that Ron Paul, my boss, our head rum maker for the whole company, he's
Hmm.
working on Lakeland. and I've heard of, and it's when it comes out, it's gonna be pretty great.
Hmm. So he and his family have done the Hemingway rye, but at the same time, he is the head distiller or the master distiller,
Hmm.
um, and you're the sort of sous chef. Okay.
Yeah, I guess if you want to look at it that way, he's the one that I report to for
Hmm.
production matters, and comes up with our national blends and things, and I'll consult with him on some things, and but he doesn't really. Every time I call him, I'm like, "Hey, Ron, can I want to try this. What do you think?" He's like, "Well, you don't know unless you try." So he's never really told me no to anything. So I run everything by him, but I kind of have free rings. He's never told me no. I kind of want to try to find something that is so just over the top that he'll go, "What? No, you're not doing
No
that."
way.
But push the envelope just to get the no, just to see where that line's at. But
Like, what about sort of a rum with pineapple taste or something?
yeah,
Like people want pizzas with pineapples or something. Someone just sent me a meme about what happens to some kid from California who wants a sort of a pineapple pizza, and he goes into one of these, New York pizzerias, and so uh, the man looks at him sort of strange like this, and then his son comes out. He says, "Let's go on outside. We got to talk and everything." And he starts beating him with a baseball bat and stuff like that.
because he
And in
wanted a
the end, he
pineapple
says, "Here's
pizza.
your pineapple," and he goes poof, right on the hand, something like that. Would
Wow,
Ron do that to you? I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
Ron, if you're
I like
listening to
pineapple
this, you've got to
pizza.
promise us that you will not hurt Shawn when he comes to you with the pineapple question.
Pineapple question.
It could be the ultimate sort of, proof of bravery,
Yeah.
for a distiller. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got some really great stuff coming out. New for Pilar. Of course, the Hemingway whiskeys will be a continued evolution that him and his sons are behind. So
Yeah. I heard that he and his family go back something like uh, 250 years or something like that.
they're 7 or 9 or whatever the number is. It's a large number of generations of distillers in their family. Ron was with Jim Beam, I think, for over 20 years, and then his son just started. I think it's called Kentucky Distillers. Broke ground, whole new place, and was at Green River for a while. So they've got a lot of distillation experience. He's probably forgotten more than I'll learn about the industry. So good person to learn from for sure.
yeah, no, he's got a wealth of knowledge that is, I would say, the biggest, the best investment that probably the company's made.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
having
I
him
would agree
there.
with that. Have you had a chance to meet him yet? I don't know. We always
Yeah, I did. He gave me a bottle of Hemingway rye while I was down there, and I signed a copy of my book. This was back in July.
Oh, the Hemingway Day. That's right. I forgot he was
Yeah,
down
he
for
was
that.
there, and I met his sons too, and I gave each of them a book. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Altogether, the books are much less than what the bottle cost. It was a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good trade on your part.
I hope they read the book, liked it at least, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. And do you travel a lot for the rum? That is going to see other people, that sort of stuff.
I used to when we were first getting the company going. I came in when it was about 3 years old, and then I was flying every week. I was going to Sarasota, Florida, where we were first kind of putting it together. And so I was flying out there, making rum, coming back, spend the weekend at home, and then fly back out to Sarasota, and then for conferences here and there. It felt like for a little while I was doing a lot of travel, but lately I sort of tapered off a bit. I'm going up to Miami in February for the Miami Rum Congress, which is just
A
a
congress.
gathering of gathering of rum people. So I'll be up there for that.
These are distillers from all over the world, I would imagine. Then.
It's distillers, it's people that are just interested in the industry. It's people that are higher level, but maybe not necessarily distillers in different companies, and a lot of enthusiasts. that come just to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, who you've met, was, the other rum maker with me here in Key West. He and I go up there every year for that, just to have sort of a presence.
Cool. Have you been to Cuba?
I have in April, yeah. I was actually went out to Finca and Channing, myself, and her sister and brother-in-law. We all went out there for her sister's birthday. I think plans
Mm-hmm.
and spent 5 days right downtown Havana by the Medicon.
Did you get a chance to see the what is it called there? Ron de Cuba. Yeah, Christ. The name of their flagship rum. Okay.
The Havana Club.
Yeah, Havana Club there.
And
Yeah.
then there's also Santiago de Cuba. I didn't go out to actually didn't do any distillery tours. I drank a bit of ram, but I didn't want to because they were all so far out. I didn't want to detract a whole day
Mm-hmm.
just for me to go to the distillery because maybe another trip. And Santiago de Cuba is on the other side of the island anyway. It's actually
Yeah, it's
faster
true.
to get from Havana to Santiago. It's faster and cheaper to fly back to Miami and get on a different plane and then fly to Santiago.
Wow.
Unless
Yeah,
you know somebody with a private plane, that's the thing.
I've
So
heard
we're
they
like,
got.
yeah, okay.
I read somewhere that they're rationing gas. Oh no, not rationing gas. They just hiked the price of gas. Like
Man,
100% or something like that.
when I was there was no gas. There were literally lines on the side of the road of cars that were lined up, and the cabbie was telling me, he's like, people will be in line for like 2 weeks waiting for gas,
What?
and
I
then
mean,
they
hold on.
then they
And this is
they
April of
April that this
2023.
2023, yeah,
Oh my God.
and it was insane. And he's like, people will leave the car, they come back if the rest of the lines moved up, and they push their car if they're out of gas, or they start it up and move it a little bit and come back a couple days later. It's insane.
Yeah. And then the taxi cabs are always interesting because, some of them you can just see the road, from the floor sort of thing. And then I've seen others, the axle brakes and everything. I mean, these cars are from the 1950s, many of them, and yet they're still running. It's amazing.
Well, they don't have the original motors in them. We were in one of those, classic pink Chevys, convertible. Went out to this beach on the, I think, on the east end outside of Havana proper. And the guy had to take a couple runs up this hill just to get up it. And I'm like, man, I think I got a V8. He's like, oh no, this has got like a
I
Russian
did.
V6 or something in it.
Yeah, we were in one, and I think it had a Toyota truck engine or something like that.
Yeah,
Nothing to do with the old sort of Buick, whatever the hell it was, or Chevy or whatever. No.
yeah,
No.
no, it did not have the power that the vehicle once had.
No, they're pretty. They're fairly amazing with what they do to these, to keep these cars sort of running.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
And
it's impressive.
kind of a
And
science.
they're never out of gas somehow. I don't know how that works out, but maybe they're deemed essential or something, so they get more gas rations.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's part of the whole sort of tourist thing and everything. They be there. So.
I was talking to somebody whose dad was his this guy's uncle or brother, somebody was a driver from the trash trucks, which is considered a governmental thing. So they have all the diesel they need.
Mhm.
And then his dad had a cab that ran on diesel. So every morning he would just drive by his dad's house, after he topped off at the government station and siphon out into his dad's car so his dad could drive the cab for the day. Like, that's clever. Probably dangerous in a communist society, but
uh, I don't know. I mean, rule of law. No, it's a strange thing there. I mean, yeah.
highest paid people are the police there, unless you're in the government.
Well, I mean, the police. Okay, a high-paid person might be someone who has studied biology, has a degree in biology, but he's making a shitload of money as a waiter in one of the you know private restaurants. Okay,
Right.
just in tips, he's going to get 100 times what he was going to get, working as a biologist or something like that. It's a strange place, Cuba. I mean, on the other hand, the people seem to be very healthy.
Happy. I mean, everybody we met
Happy.
was smiling and happy, and
The young people are, they give you a great education there. They even I found out train American medical students to become physicians. Okay, and then they go back to wherever they came from. I met a guy. He was from, I think, North Dakota or something like that, and managed to get into this special program at the Universidad de las Americas or something like that, I think it was called. Of course, he had to learn Spanish. And then he had to do, when he graduated, okay, he had to do his board exams in the United States. Okay. Uh, I guess he didn't have to relearn all of the terms in English that he knew them
well, a lot of them are
beforehand.
probably in Latin. So
Yeah. But it's an amazing system. Uh,
yeah.
I mean, here we are, embargoing the whole country and everything, and they're teaching American students, to become MDs. You know,
Hmm.
the world is weird. What can I say?
It's a weird place.
Anyway, I think I have finished off all of our questions here. Is there anything else you'd like to say to us today, Shawn?
No, man, I just really appreciate you reaching out and thinking of me for the podcast. I was excited when you sent me the message saying you were interested in that. So glad we could get together on this.
Well, I knew you were the guy, because you're creating along with Ron Call there the blends, which selling like hotcakes. The family is very appreciative. I'll
I'm
say
sure.
that. No, they keep saying it's an extremely well-run company. That's what I hear all the
There's some
time.
great business minds behind it. So
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Patrick Hemingway Adams there. He was a great business mind. I don't know. Actually, no. I think he fashions himself more as a great white hunter. Yeah.
yeah, every time I follow him on I was talking about Pilar at the Great Business Minds. I don't know about the family business, but yeah, Patrick, he's been every time I see him on Instagram, I'm like, man, you're like always in Africa killing something, drinking beer.
Yeah, that's it. He must have an interesting collection of guns. It's I always see him
Yeah.
with something new. You know.
Yeah, he was telling me a story about he would go down with an AR-15 and night vision goggles on and sit in a chair in his underwear and drink beer and shoot beavers. Bottom of the mountain road he lives on.
Wide open beavers? Oh no, I shouldn't be doing that. No. Yes.
Well, no, they mess up the river,
Oh yeah, well they will do that. Yeah, they're very industrious. Yeah.
but he was saying apparently there's some like Bitcoin millionaire types that moved up the hill from him and didn't appreciate that. And it's like, well, welcome to Montana.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's like that the TV show. Bozeman. Yeah, there we go. Everyone's killing everyone.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. All right. Well, we meet up before the Hemingway days. Christina's in St. Petersburg in Russia. She'll be back sometime in the spring. She's seeing her family, doing stuff there.
cool.
Renewing her passport. It's a
Yeah,
serious thing in Russia to renew your passport.
I'm
Let me tell you,
sure it is. Yeah.
biometrics galore and everything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I wonder if they
yeah.
question her about all the time she spends in the U.S.
Well, I mean, the fact she already has a Canadian passport is. But then, yeah, she's married to an American, and so eventually
Well, if
she'll
you're a
have three.
bachelor till spring, man, come on down.
I think I will. I'll just pack the dog. I've got this huge Labrador. He's so fucking strong. He takes me for walks every day at the beach. It's like have mercy on me.
Right.
I'm 63. Oh Jesus, this guy's total muscle. Total muscle. This dog. You go.
Yeah,
Oh
my dog's the same way, just super strong. Thankfully, I'm able to control her.
well, can't sort of move everything out, but he's such a beast. Yeah, he'd like it. He'd find it fun because he likes everyone. He's just got to say hello to everyone he sees.
Yeah, my dog's the same way. Yeah.
And
Well,
then mark his
I've got a
territory.
70 pound dog that would, Keep them entertained.
He's 108 apparently, something like
Wow,
that.
it's a big
Yeah,
dog.
and he's just all muscle. He's not fat. People say, "Oh, you should get him thinner." I said, "No, no, that's muscle. Believe me.
Yeah,
You try holding him,
yeah,
and then off they go." Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I just might do that. I'll come down there
Cool.
in my putt putt, and
That's not too far of a drive.
yeah, it's about what 400? No, almost. It's almost 500 miles. Yeah,
Yeah,
from
it's a
here.
two day drive, but
But no, I do it in 8 hours. Car's got eco, normal, and sport.
put it in sport and go.
Yeah. No, the eco is great because it just saves a lot of gas. Alrighty,
Cool,
Sean,
man.
be cool. You know, live
Always. You
long and
too.
prosper and all that sort of stuff. And I'll have this up. Uh, what I usually do is I work on it on the afternoon, and then I have a premiere, and it's like midnight English time or something like that. And
Cool.
then
Look forward to it, man.
all right, Chowder, thanks a lot, eh?
Yeah, man. See you soon.
Okay. Oh wait, don't hang up until all of this stuff has for
Disappeared.
you, okay? Until all of your video footage is loaded up, has gone up there. It'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Let's see. Now it's stopping. Yes. Okay. That is.